Hi everyone, good morning. Welcome to Conversations with MM. This is Marivir Montibon here in New York City. I hope you are all good today. It's Monday, it's the first day of the week. And sana everybody's doing well. And our guest for today is a hyper local artist, a Filipino American artist in Queens. And he has been multi awarded, ever since he got back to the visual arts, because you see our guest is a an architect, and then he became a nurse. Now he's retired and so much into full gear with his artistry. It is a blend of impressionism and realism, and I'm talking of no other than Mr. Luis Caraos. And I had a very heartwarming interview with him last weekend, and I'd like to show it to you. But first, I'd like to give you a little bit of background on Luis. So Luis Caraos was born in Quezon province in the Philippines, and he has a lot of awards already to his name. And foremost, the latest of which is he became the recipient of the first outstanding University of Santo Tomas Alumni Atelier Honors, which was given to him in April 2023. And on May 15, 2023, he was honorable mention of the 33rd Annual Judged Art Show, BACCA, which is the Babylon Citizens Council in the Arts here in Queens. So he is a very, humble guy, very accomplished yet humble. So, and he specializes on culture and arts. His genre is like showing the Filipino culture to the world. So let me take you to my interview, which I pre-recorded last weekend. Take a look. Thank you so much, Sir Luis Caraos, for welcoming me to your house. Ang ganda naman ng bahay mo. Maraming mga masterpieces mo.
Salamat po.
So tell us about your journey as an artist. Kasi as far as I know, ano po kayo, architect sa Philippines. And then when you came here, you decided to be a nurse. And now
Yes.
you retired being a nurse. But you're still into your creative streak as an artist na painter. Ano naman po ang journey niyo dyan?
Kasi sa palagay ko, I was really born as an artist.
Mhm.
Kasi nung maliit pa ako,
Mm.
napansin ko lang may inclination ako sa pagdodrawing
Mhm.
using Crayola. I was like around 6 years old,
Mhm.
nung maliit pa ako. Basta enjoy akong naggagawa nun sa bahay. Kahit
Mhm.
nag-iisa lang ako, I still have time to play with other kids.
Mhm.
Although when I'm by myself, I enjoy making drawings or imagination. Parang pinapractice ko yung aking brain to imagine.
Galing. So I remember you in your profile, ang una mong naging work na nanalo ay yung beggar.
Yeah,
Meron ka pa bang copy nun?
um, unfortunately,
Mm.
the beggar that I did when I was in high school
Mhm.
won first place, but unfortunately, I don't have no recollection because I think
Mhm.
I donated it to our high school.
Oh.
I studied high school in San Pablo City,
Mhm.
Ateneo de San Pablo, which is now a defunct school. It used
Mhm.
to be there,
Oh, I
but
see.
then the Jesuit had taken it with them.
Would you remember kung bakit mo naisip na beggar ang iyong i-paint?
It's a poster making contest.
I
Ang
see.
title nung aking poster na ginawa, it really means a lot to me because I could feel the world, maraming mahihirap sa atin,
Mm.
but they're not really represented in the art scene.
Oh.
The title of that beggar is "Too Many Have Too Little."
Wow.
So it's a picture of a girl begging for money to buy food because once you're in poverty, you have no recourse but to beg.
My gosh. Grabe na, ka-heartwarming naman yan. So you were a teenager at that time.
Yes, I would say
So
so.
meron ka ng puso para sa ganong klaseng social reality, ano po?
anybody, kahit nung maliit pa ako siguro, you
Mm-hmm.
were born that way. Ang
Mm-hmm.
puso is universal. It's
Mm-hmm.
timeless. Pagka may isip ka na, it comes naturally with you.
Ang galing. So,
Thank you.
how did you become, ano po, nag-choose kayo ng architecture as a course?
Actually, I was planning to take up fine arts at
Mm-hmm.
UST. University of Santo Tomas is my first choice of school.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I was in fourth year high school, we were trying to decide what type of course. I consulted my elder brother, my kuya,
Mm-hmm.
and he advised me to take up architecture instead. It's
Mm-hmm.
similar to arts
Mm-hmm.
because in a way you'll be involved in drawings. Because he advised me that when you become a professional architect,
Mm-hmm.
he told me that you will have a license title as compared to when you're becoming an
Mm-hmm.
artist. What is your license there to
Mas ano
draw?
yun? Mas,
Kumbaga sa ano, mas accepted professionally. And you
and it
know how
earns well.
Filipino usually have that kind of uh, I would say ambition to make it bigger.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't realize that because I always trust my brother rather
Mm-hmm.
than trust myself.
I see.
But I enjoyed doing architecture, and
How long
I
did
did,
you work as an architect for?
I work as an architect. I started um, first. I was employed by Professor Jose Pardo of an architect and also my professor because he saw my work
Mm-hmm.
and he fell in love with all my designs and my quality of drawing. So
Mm-hmm.
he hired me, and then after that, he recommended me to work in Makati
Mm-hmm.
with a professional Ingracio Mariano. It's a big time company in Makati where I
Mm-hmm.
had learned a lot of crafts in architecture.
Mm-hmm.
Then I moved to Berkeley, so a Chinese company, Filipino Chinese actually, and we did the works such as Asia Brewery,
Mm-hmm.
those warehouses.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yes,
So how long was that? Like 10 years, 20 years?
approximately before
Uh-huh.
I migrated to the United States. But
So, mm-hmm.
even I met my wife
Mm-hmm.
through a common because actually my wife and I are mm, we live not too far away from each other
Mm-hmm.
in the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
We are like neighboring towns, but she live here in New York.
Mm-hmm.
So and through a connection, we were introduced to one another,
Mm-hmm.
and then that's how our story began, and everything became history.
So, ano po kayo? Did you
I
join her to
was
In New York or?
Yeah, at first I was hesitant to come here in New York
Mm-hmm.
because I have my own practice back home as an architect.
Right.
But then there was instability during that time. There was like the people power when we
Oh,
got
this
married,
was in the 80s.
1986.
Yeah.
So we got married, and then after we got married, she decided to petition me to come here, and then it was
Oh,
approved. 6 months after our marriage, I was here in 1987 of June.
I see. So, tuloy-tuloy na po kayo dito sa US since then.
Yes, and then I practice in NYU.
Mm-hmm.
I become a space designer, space auditor. I work
Wow.
with my boss dealing with similar to architecture, like appropriation of workspaces in New York University in Manhattan.
Wow.
It was a very prestigious job, and I didn't realize that
Did
because I
you
was
like it?
there.
Did you love
Of
the work?
course, I enjoyed doing it because it's not so stressful as compared to where I ended up being a nurse.
Pero bakit po kayo nag-nurse?
Um, it's a long story. I was enjoying my architecture.
Uh-huh.
I never had any idea that I was going to be a nurse until I moved to from one office to the other because I
Mm-hmm.
was young. When you're young, you're very jumpy and you want to explore your
Right.
full potential as an
Experience
art and
everything.
experience. And I really want to be a designer. So
Mm-hmm.
I applied to Joseph Lombardi Architects
Mm.
to be involved in design, which is very fruitful back then. But the stress level is too high that it
Talaga.
compromised my back.
Oh,
I had
could you
like
describe what kind of work was that? It
oh
was very
designing. We
stressful.
have deadlines here and there.
Ah.
We have timetable that we have to finish at certain days, and
Mm.
then I'll be responsible with with all the
Ano
materials
pong
from
dinidesign ninyo? Interior or exterior?
interior, exterior of mansions, particularly Mr. Gund, the toy maker,
Mm.
GUND.
Oh.
That was one of our clients. If you remember this company,
Mm-hmm.
they're very famous in Toys R Us.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so
Wow.
I was fruitfully employed with them, and I really learned the tricks and trade of being a designer as an
Mm-hmm.
architect, and professionally, my personal. I was so happy about my accomplishments
I
because I
see.
never had this experience when I was back in the Philippines.
So it gave you a lot of professional, personal growth. Ano po?
Yes,
Uh-huh.
that's
Pero,
true.
so paano na kayo naging nurse?
Oh, in
Dahil,
the middle of the business and
uh,
the stress,
mm,
I hurt my back that I couldn't go to
oh
the.
my
I was
goodness.
about to go to work, but then I had to call my supervisor because I couldn't even crawl down
Oh gosh.
on our stairs to go to work because it hurted. I have disc herniation.
I
I was
see.
almost paralyzed
Oh gosh.
partially.
Ano yun, nabitbit po kayo ng mabigat or it was a
No,
freak
it's
thing?
because of the poor posture,
Oh,
and then you're always seated, and then you have the tendency to have like herniation of the padding that pads between your spine and the lumbar area.
yeah.
Once it's compressed due to poor posture, my doctor told me you could be paralyzed with
Oh
this.
God.
So good thing I and then they treated me well
Mm-hmm.
until I. It took me 10 years to be fully because it's like a
Oh my
chronic.
goodness.
Yeah, but then in the middle of 10 years, what are you gonna do?
So is
So
that
I
like your, ano?
decided,
Is that a permanent disability?
yeah, I was
Oh.
permanent but I couldn't accept the fact that I'm disabled at a young age, 30 something,
Mm.
and that's for me as a working young professional. I can't accept the fact that I'll be invalid person.
May
I
ano
have
na
to
po
do
kayo
something
nun?
about it.
Correct. Meron na po kayong mga anak nun?
Meron na.
Uh-huh.
Because that's why I was working so hard
Okay.
to provide financial assistance and to take care of my kids.
Right. Oh. So kaya nag-enroll na kayo ng nursing?
I find that nursing first. I want to learn about my human anatomy, why it happened to me, so
Okay.
I could protect myself, not
Mm-hmm.
because I want to change my profession,
Mm.
because I want to learn something new other than what I really already know.
Mm-hmm.
Because this way you could fight, you could go on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and also I've seen most members of our family are into healthcare business.
I
So,
see.
and I've
Pati
seen
po
their
si Mrs.?
lives. Yeah,
She
she's
is
a
a nurse?
scientist.
Oh,
She's
she's a
not a nurse,
scientist.
but it's also in healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
She's they're doing a lot of experiment about health.
Oh, ano po ang ano niya?
She
Connection niya?
works
Saan
in
siya?
Columbia University
Mm-hmm.
as a scientist. They invent like the AeroGuard catheter,
Mm.
and then they did like a lot of antimicrobial products that are being sold in market right now,
I
like the
see.
Purell,
Oh.
the um, uh, the Silvadin cream,
Mm-hmm.
the AeroGuard, and they are highly being used in the hospitals right
I
now.
see. So I'm sure she has encouraged you to be a nurse?
No, this is my own choice
Uh-huh.
because I found in my own experience within the family,
Mm.
they have a stable job also at the same time.
I see. So ilang taon po kayo nag-aral maging nurse?
Well, I went to Queensboro Community College. It's
Mm.
a public school here in the
Mm-hmm.
city of New York, and it
Mm-hmm.
took me like 2.5, 3 years to finish the associate degree in nursing. But it's the same. I took the board exam, and so far
Mm-hmm.
I did well, and I
Mm-hmm.
took board exam one time.
So nag-work na po kayo as a nurse? Where po?
Yeah, my first experience was in North Shore. We call it North Shore Hospital in
Mm.
Forest Hills. I started to be a medical surgical nurse there
I
for
see.
1 year.
Wow.
It was so stressful, but I have to do what I have to do.
But was it not Was it a, did you think it was a correct decision, or did you get into a more stressful job?
I know I did, but I always like challenge, and the challenge I have to endure
Mhm.
because I have to like what I do. On the
Correct.
artistic side of being a nurse, you could
Mhm.
see in your schooling we had human anatomy.
Oh, that's artistic, huh?
Yeah, because you have to draw parts of the body.
Oh,
You have to study the skull. You have to do the proportion of your shoulder, the limbs, your legs, and it gave me an idea. Well, I have to enjoy this because
at least pinapadraw kayo.
yeah, we have subjects about drawing parts of human, even the cells. We have to study that in
Mm.
anatomy,
Mhm.
and also the human body, which I think I like. I like drawing all the
Oh my
time, so it
gosh.
doesn't matter to me.
So ilang taon po kayo naging nurse?
I think when I started working as a professional nurse after my board exam, I was exactly 40 years old.
Mhm. Hanggang
In
ano po?
2016, I
Hanggang
retired.
retirement.
Yeah, I was 60 years old.
Oh my goodness. So now
Yeah.
you're back to being artist talaga. Back to where originally
Um,
you have
Even when
been.
I was a nurse,
Yeah,
because nursing is a very stressful life.
it is.
I have to find ways to alleviate the stress
Mm.
and to at least my shelter from the daily
Grind.
the daily hardship of working with patients and
Right.
all the stress.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm in my own world, in my studio, when I'm painting, I'm in a different world. It's almost like getting a spa for the whole day by
Parang
yourself.
relaxing.
It's very relaxing. You think about nothing. You feel like you're God. You're the creator. You
Oh
could have
gosh.
your own pace. You
Mm-hmm.
don't have to be called like every moment. There's like emergency here and there.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm seated in one corner doing my imaginative drawings and all that. It's very. That's why this is one of the secret why I made it through
I
being a
see.
nurse
Because
for
you
I think
paint.
20 years actually
I see.
from 2000 actually 2016 16 years. That's
Imagine.
correct. Yeah.
So what is your genre? Are you an impressionist? Are you a realist?
I would say I am a representational artist.
What does that
Um,
mean po?
I'm representing what I see in my own style.
Mm.
It's a cross between realism and impressionism, I think,
Oh my gosh.
because I'm representing like people or a culture or still life landscape in my own stylistic, I
Mm-hmm.
would say, Lewis,
Mm-hmm.
because I have developed my own style.
Mm-hmm. All artists will have their own
Yeah,
development, like
we
your own
started
evolution,
with
right?
our own idols, like
Right.
my idols like John Singer Sargent, Diego Velázquez of Spain.
Mm-hmm.
We have Joaquin Sorolla of
Mm-hmm.
Spain and Rembrandt. Those masters, you have
Mm-hmm.
to go through all of this for you to be able to develop your own eventually. You cannot be like copying it. You
Mm-hmm.
just study the trend, how they think as an artist
Mm-hmm.
in like manner. Because, kumbaga sa nauuwiduhin mo yung galing sa puso mo
Right.
para mai-execute mo sa iyong canvas
Mm-hmm.
ang naiisip mo coming from your own inner self,
Mm-hmm.
your own voice being transferred to canvas.
Yes. When I entered your house, I immediately saw mga trabaho mo na floral, mga still life na pictures na flowers, and I see on the back a rendition of Philippine culture sa atin. Yeah,
Yes
well,
po.
let's focus on that. Let me
Okay.
walk into that,
Sure.
and then
I'll
let's
take
discuss
you
it.
to it.
Yeah. So, tour mo
Um,
na ako sa bahay mo.
I think
Tour na po
because
ako dito, mga
I cannot forget that
ladies
I'm
and
Filipino,
gentlemen.
and this is the high time that I'm retired now.
Mhm.
Then I could focus on my experience to be a Filipino. One time I live in the Philippines in Quezon province,
Oh.
Philippines.
What
And I
may pangalan
remember
na ba ito?
ito,
Yeah.
es la nostalgia puente.
Oh.
meaning bridges, plural.
Uh-huh.
Meaning, there's a lot of meaning when you say bridges, you're
Mm-hmm.
connecting.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to burn bridges, you want to connect
Connect
to the world.
through the bridge. Yeah.
So now that I'm retired, I still want to connect with people
Mm-hmm.
because what you see here are representation of Filipiniana in my own
Right.
imagination.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at it, you might have your own story to tell.
Mm-hmm.
It's not
It's how I
definitely my,
interpret it, right?
yeah, depending on the viewer. But me as an artist, I want to show what I experienced when I was little,
Mm-hmm.
and I want happy memories of being back to the Philippines
So did
through
you
my
have happy
paintings.
memories on a
Yeah,
bridge like this?
of course.
Anong tawag ng bridge na po yan? You mentioned it to
Doon
me.
sa Quezon, meron kaming nakalimutan ko ng Maragondong Bridge.
Mm.
It's similar because they were built by the Spaniards,
Mm.
and even in Mahayhay, Laguna, they have like Spanish bridges there,
Mm-hmm.
and in Cavite also.
So,
There's
naglaro-laro rin ba kayo sa bridge na yan?
I always traveled
Noon?
there when we were young, when
Uh-huh.
we take a tour of different towns in
Uh-huh.
Quezon and Cavite and Laguna.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have fond memories, and through my imagination, and I've seen like brick houses,
Mm-hmm.
terracotta houses
Mm-hmm.
that were originally built by Spain, but
Yeah.
they still exist up to now. And I've seen that in actual. But then
Mm-hmm.
in my own mind, I have here in the background
Mm-hmm.
Pagsangham Falls in my own imagination.
Mm-hmm. This
And
one.
yeah, that's Pagsangham Falls in my own interpretation
Uh-huh.
because I don't have no picture
Mm-hmm.
to imitate from, but I use my imagination to draw it.
Awesome. Meron din ba po ba kayong memory sa Pagsanhan?
Yes, we went there. I did not exactly go there and did the boat ride,
Mm.
but we came there nearby, and I've seen outside how people are like really very excited and very happy about the joyride of
Uh-huh.
boating in Pagsanghan
I
Falls
see.
because I live not too far from Pagsanghan Falls.
I see. So, eto ba tapos na po? Or
Hindi pa po.
you mentioned that this is
Some
still
of them,
in
like
progress.
in the background,
Yeah.
those are neighboring towns. Medyo tapos na yan.
Mhm.
I work from the background, and then as I go forward, this is the foreground.
Mhm.
I have to do a lot of things in the water,
Mhm.
and then I have to do details, the faces and their clothes, and I have to put more highlights. Even the antique lamp posts,
Yeah.
I still have to light that up so it will look brighter.
Mhm. So, is this a project for a particular show?
No, this is my own freewheeling, like my own calling.
Oh, okay.
So in my own mind, this particular drawing,
Mhm.
I know not a lot of people draw
Yeah.
historic or people from the past, but I just want to show that we could elevate our culture, our heritage
Mhm.
through painting so that the younger generation will have something to look
Uh-huh.
and
Appreciate.
for themselves that we have such a beautiful heritage
Right.
and
And
culture and
let me
art.
look at this. This is a very elegant woman na
Yes.
nasa boat ba siya?
Yeah, I
And
think
then
in
here's
my
a gentleman na
yes,
nag
I'm
attend to her.
thinking this woman is a very rich woman in my own estimation. You know how
Mm.
the Spaniards were.
Mm.
And then people respect her, like giving how do you call that? Giving
Support, attention.
support or attention or respect to a higher being. Like I'm showing how you respect people of good family,
Uh-huh.
and I still want to bring that kind of feeling that I think that nowadays don't do these things anymore. But I remember
Wala nang gentleman.
yes, that's why these are the gentlemen of the past,
Oh my goodness.
and I want to bring it back alive in my painting.
Maybe meron pa naman siguro
Meron
konti
pa
na
naman,
iwan.
pero majority are into computer and their cell phone.
Mhm.
But if we hide our cell phones and then open to the history,
Uh-huh.
you'll be fascinated how beautiful our culture is.
Yes, our heritage
We
was.
have European influence, I would
Mhm.
say so.
And also here, gusto ko talaga siyang ma-detail. So
Okay.
this is like they're dancing.
It
This
could
is like
either
a
be like coraza or
baile.
baile or what do you call it, regodon or something like
Mm-hmm,
that,
mm-hmm.
or cariñosa or lahota, whatever
Yeah,
you
because this
call
is
it.
a big Spanish house.
Yeah, the big Spanish how people are invited like during town fiesta or a big
Mm-hmm.
wedding celebration. And then their veranda are all open
Open,
for
big
free
windows.
air, big windows. And I want to represent people who attended from other towns
Mm-hmm.
using boat or the karawahe or the cartela.
Yeah,
We
like
call
this
it
one here.
kalesa actually.
Kalesa, yeah, the
Yeah, from
horse-drawn
neighboring.
carriage.
And I want to show that you don't have to have Mercedes Benz, but we have this type of transportation back then, but they're happily living
Mm-hmm.
within their
I
harmonious
wonder if
community.
society right now, meron pa bang ganito in the Philippines, in the
I think
rural
they
areas?
do.
They
I
still
would
have.
say
Uh-huh.
in some rural areas in Luzon,
Mm-hmm.
particularly Ilocos in Vegan, I think they still have
Ah,
this type of houses.
I see.
And
So
also the
may ganyan pa
mode of
talagang
transportation,
socialization.
because they were able to preserve
Mm-hmm.
these
It's
kalesa.
beautiful.
And some of them, I saw them there. That's why I still have this picture. I have to do research also
I see. Oh,
to give
that's
you.
great. So I look forward na matapos yan and hopefully we'll
Yes,
find a place, New York,
there is.
where people can see it.
Actually, I have the group called Southern Queens Park Association exhibition in March 3,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm inviting everyone to go there. It's in Baisley
March
Park.
3.
Yeah, it's a gallery,
Mm-hmm.
and I was invited by Miss Olney Rayland to
Mm-hmm.
exhibit with them. She personally invited me because we are friends, but then she texted me to come and join
Looking
them.
forward po.
Yes,
Yeah. So I'd like to move on dito sa
of
mga iba
course.
niyo pong mga works dito sa living room naman. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Meron pa silang grand piano. And I see
Lately.
like all the paintings ng mga flowers.
Yeah, these
Pink,
flowers are.
anong flowers po yan, sir?
This one is azalea,
Uh-huh.
which is I got the idea of painting this from the actual plein air painting in Jamaica Estates
Mm-hmm.
here in Queens,
Mm-hmm.
and they're in spring and in bloom. So I was able to capture the ephemeral effect of the sunlight
Mm-hmm.
hitting the beautiful landscape
Ang
of
ganda.
Queens. It
Uh-huh.
won actually first prize in Bayside Historical
Wow.
Society. This
Uh-huh.
one,
What year was that?
I forgot. I think 2011,
Oh, okay.
and then there's another one 2013.
Mm-hmm.
So this one is called Jamaica Estates
Mm-hmm.
because I was trying to show how beautiful spring here in United States.
Correct. Nice.
The pink magnolias and then the azaleas during
Mm-hmm.
springtime.
Yeah. Beautiful and nice to really look at and appreciate.
This other one here is peony. We have at the backyard,
Mm-hmm.
I have peony plants, and
Mm-hmm.
every springtime they bear beautiful scented flowers,
Mm-hmm.
and I couldn't help myself but paint
That's
because they really last for I think 1 week or 2 weeks only.
Pero itong mga artists, ano, I mean, when you said like I can't help but paint it kasi ang ganda.
I'm drawn to
So
it.
you're drawn to the beauty of it.
Yes,
It's like
I'm
you're
so happy to capture it in my canvas.
Mhm. Now I'm interested also in this picture.
Oh
The
yeah.
peacock. You mentioned this a while ago. Like
I was talking to you about I joined this environmental group where we exhibit at Queens College.
mm,
Is another CUNY or City University of New York
mhm.
college, and then the theme is about the environment, how we could present the world, how the environment is impacting the neighborhood of the community.
Yeah, huh?
So it's called the environmental injustices that being done by the big time corporation, where
Mm,
there's a lot of factories, pollution in
mhm.
the air and in the land and in the
Yes.
water. So the peacock that you see on the right is a beautiful peacock, and I would say I was also drawn with the beauty of the peacock. It
Mhm.
represents us who are beautiful people,
Mm,
but we don't have a choice because I live in a community with the people dump stuff, but I have to do it like nicely. But the
Mhm.
message is look at how they pollute. The
Yes.
goldfish is also representing us. They're beautiful, but look, they live within
Garbage
the
area.
garbage of the water.
Yeah.
And then the peacock, going back to the peacock, they have like small children just freshly hatched from the egg.
Mm.
But she
Living
thinks
on
that
a garbage dump.
this is natural to them. They
Mm-mm.
were able to adapt. The couple of peacock was able to lay eggs
Mm-hmm.
and eventually hatch. And then the surrounding, we have like a dilapidated or junkyard.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the foreground, you see like God knows what that kind
Big,
of chemicals are
uh-huh.
being emitted from
Big
big
factories.
factories from New Jersey or
Mm-hmm.
neighboring. Even if they're from New Jersey or Connecticut, they're still in the air.
Yeah.
People get
They
asthma.
travel.
They experience autoimmune disease.
Mhm.
Name it, and you'll have it.
So I see the contrast here, like beautiful
Yes,
creatures, like the peacock and the fish. Then we have the
the
man-made
garbages,
creations that are polluting the earth
and then the waste products from the pipes, from the
from
chemicals,
industries. Yeah.
from industries, and then so somehow they manage. But God knows what kind of disease. Maybe they have cancer
Mm-hmm.
or asthma or cancer of the lungs, whatever.
Yeah.
Anything is possible because they're not really clean air or clean
So
water.
any like an art consumer, somebody looking at your work will realize like, oh, we need to be careful and be wary of what man
Yeah, the
is
message
creating,
is
humanity is creating.
yeah, we're are creating our own, I would say, hell
Mm-hmm.
by dumping. Even big time companies are just creating it out of money, but we
Yeah.
have dump of the cups, the plastic spoons and fork, the
Mm-hmm.
bottled water. They they doing this in the name of money, but then what about the waste disposal? What they gonna do with that?
Right.
They have to be mindful of where you live because we live in just one world.
Right. So
You
it's
cannot
like,
just be so selfish about your own
mhm.
financial interest in the expense of humanity.
Yes, like that's your artist message,
Yes,
like
that's
in a
the
very
message.
subtle way, but in a
Subtle way.
artistic way.
Because when you try to gaze at my painting,
Mm-hmm.
you will find there are a lot of stories behind it.
I
It's
know.
not just like beautiful painting and that's it, or
It has
nice
a
to display.
message.
In it
Yeah.
has deeper message than that.
Mm-hmm. Now let me go here too. It's this one. This is we discussed this extensively. Ano po ito po?
Okay. Ang title po nito
Mm-hmm.
ay Unconditional Love.
Mm-hmm.
Dito naman, sumali ako sa isang gallery na ang kanilang tema is Unconditional Love.
Mm.
Ginawa ko na rin siyang title. Pero makikita nyo yung lalaki o ama ng tahanan
Mm.
na siyang bumubuhay sa pamilya
Mm-hmm.
na hindi niya iniinda. He doesn't care about himself. He is unselfish in a way
Mm-hmm.
that he has to work hard to earn a decent living, to
Mm-hmm.
provide food and shelter for the family.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't even think about himself. So you'll see some fruits that was freshly harvested. They're lanzones, but then
Mm-hmm.
he was not able to hold it and bring it to the market early in the morning
Mm-hmm.
because he passed out, maybe because he
Na
was sick already.
sobrang trabaho.
Sobrang trabaho, he was so stressed and nobody cares
Mm-hmm.
because he want to provide a good living for the family or your mother or your wife
Mm-hmm.
and your children. So it's very heartbreaking that it could happen to anyone. Like when you are even
May
in,
inspiration po ba kayo dito?
ang inspiration ko dyan is myself and
Uh-huh.
other
Uh-huh.
people who are like me,
Mm-hmm.
who work so hard 7 days a week or 5 days a week,
Mm-hmm.
not even thinking about your health, no more time to relax. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you have time to relax, but then when you go back again, the stress is still going to be there.
Right, right.
But then you have to do it. We have no other choice because you rent a house or you own a house, then you have mortgage, then you have to provide with your children.
Mm-hmm.
it's a non-stop vicious cycle because there's no other choice. You live in another
May
world
binubuhay ka.
in America
Yeah.
where everything is based from work, labor intensive. There's no more time to relax. Although we were able to relax, but still, as I was saying,
Mhm.
when you go back to reality, back to work again.
Yeah, back to stress.
Yeah, back to stress again.
Oh my
So
God.
in my representation of that, this is what happened to the same person here.
Sa akin, ang message niyan, like have time to relax.
Yeah. Or the message will be the opposite. I think you should also take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself. Yeah.
You don't have to always be under stress. There are
Uh-huh.
other, let's say, go outing,
Just
go
rest
on a
for a
long
bit.
vacation, or change job.
Yeah. Change job. That's also a big thing to do.
Yeah, it's a lot of possible stories that
Mhm.
goes behind.
Yeah,
it.
amazing.
Everything is
Amazing.
possible.
Right. So let's go to that painting upstairs, sir.
Okay.
Can we go like that?
Let me lead the way.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm talking about here. Um, when I joined the gallery in Philippine Consulate, I
Mm.
think that was the celebration of the 500 years of Christianity.
Uh-huh.
And I was thinking about the what you call like when you start a story like the genesis of
Mhm.
the introduction of the European, particularly Spain, when
Mhm.
they first came to the Philippines. They went straight to the Visayan Islands
Mhm. Limasawa.
and Limasawa in particular, and then they were able to meet the group, the tribes that was inhabitants of those islands.
Mhm.
But then in the process, they were trying to discover islands in the Philippines because they think that the Filipinos are so not like very hospitable, so they were treated nicely. But then
Mm.
they did some abuses. I think they did rape the women,
They did. That's
and then
why
they destroyed their property. They burned the houses.
they stole also some jewelry,
The
lots of jewelry.
jewelry was stolen from our natives. But then Filipino are nice, but then there's limit to all of these abuses. So
Mhm.
they united themselves to fight against those foreign invaders.
Mhm.
And the scene that you're seeing here is Lapu-Lapu and the group of the
Mhm.
Visayan warriors. I call
Mhm.
them heroes.
Mhm.
They try to defend their own country
Mhm.
by beating them up. I think they lost. The Spaniards died. A lot of Spaniards, although there were a lot of native Filipino who died here
Yes.
also.
So Magellan was the first white circumnavigator na pinatay po ng isang native
Yeah,
chieftain,
yeah. And then, and
Lapu-Lapu.
in my own opinion, the Filipinos won over the conquerors
Mhm. Mhm.
because the message here is um, there's only limit to the goodness that you're showing. But if you sense that there is abuse,
Mhm.
you have to speak your mind
Mhm.
by being physically aggressive as well.
Right.
So they were able to kill most of them. And I think one galleon, Spanish galleon, went back to Spain.
Mhm.
They were, and then they told what happened, a lot of casualties.
Right.
Then I think after 50 years, they came back.
They came back with Miguel Lopez de Legazpi
Yeah,
as
and
the
it's more powerful.
more powerful. That was the time na talagang na-subjugate na ang Philippines.
Yes,
Yeah.
because they were describing how Filipinos are very vulnerable and hospitable, that they could easily treat them like fools and Indios. They call them Indios, meaning they ignorant and easy to play around with.
Yes, but already Lapu-Lapu already created that in history na
He won.
first recorded chieftain
Yeah.
who drove away a colonizer.
So in my emotional depiction of battle,
Mhm.
I want to show that Filipinos here are very, very annoyed and angry. They revolted against conquerors
Mhm.
because these are unacceptable. So you could see in their faces how they're like so mad.
Mhm.
Get away from our. This is not your land. This is our land,
Mhm.
and you have no right to conquer.
So you have this mindset din pala na you are for freedom.
Of course.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to be imprisoned in our own
In your own country.
native land.
Yes, this is a.
Yeah, we want to be free.
Have you put this in an exhibit?
Yes, I did in Philippine consulate, but there was too
Ah,
many focus. But I
I
haven't
see.
done any focusing on this.
And finally, let's talk about
There's
this
another one there.
this lively this lively
Oh, this
rendition
one,
of fiesta, I think.
a fiesta is a typical Filipino fiesta scene in the rural areas.
Mm-hmm.
And people who live in the mountain or in the remote areas of Quezon in particular, they try to enjoy themselves. Like if they want to celebrate a feast of, I would say, Saint John the Baptist, because there's a lot of different saints
Yes.
all over the throughout the year.
Yeah.
And in our particular
365
365 days.
times two saints.
But in our case, I live in Chaong, Quezon, and our patron saint is Saint John the Baptist. You could see in the background the church.
Yeah.
You'll see the rich houses here, the bahay na bato, or the big
The
houses,
stone houses, yeah.
the Spanish houses, or the wealthy, the people where live are wealthy.
Yeah.
And then as contrast with the natives, the bahay kubo,
Yeah, the nipahat.
the nipihat, both are happy, but even if they're not rich, they are able to entertain themselves by enjoying the local fruits. And they have the way of celebrating lechon or some fish coming from another part of the country to put them together as one community so that they could celebrate the town fiesta. But you see also in the background where the rich are, they have
there's
like
a Ferris wheel.
musico, the band. These are band, and then there's a Ferris wheel here. But they're free to roam down there too. But in the same manner, they're celebrating both places. I just want to show you how happy they are despite their
economic difference.
Their economic shortcoming or difference. Yes,
I see. It's to me, it's a very lively depiction of rural life.
Thank you. I like the colors too.
The colors are bursting, and I love it. It makes you happy.
Yeah,
because you remember those, like the man and the woman. Ayan, nag-dance sila.
Yeah.
And there's a little band. There are mga bandurria. Yeah.
And then we have kalesa, transportation.
And then women are selling food, and there's lechon.
And then here you have for next year, they're raising big to make it fattening the cow for next year.
Yeah, for the following fiesta.
And then they will sell it so that they have money to buy ingredients share the meat within the community.
Yeah, mag-half-half pa yan sila, di ba?
Yes.
Half of the pig is mine.
The good thing about fiesta in the provinces, like a small community like this, they really are united in a way that they make sure that everybody's like part of the celebration by making preparation and then making their own type entertainment music, which I really like, because these are like memories to me.
These are very good, like community expression of unity,
yes, I
happiness.
Still remember that when I was little, when I used to go to the bukid or the rural areas, I could see how, despite of their economic status, they were able to celebrate some birthdays or fiestas, even in their small, simple recipes. The most important thing is they're able to be happy. Yeah,
it's like the consolidation of society,
Yes.
And I remember in my own experience too, like my grandma, she would prepare pila ka baboy ang i-raise for the next fiesta.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Try to raise it for next time.
Yeah, and like your life evolves on the next fiesta.
That's how life is.
Yes, as far as my grandma is concerned. So like she would assign my mom to, this is what you buy. You take care of the pastries. Your sister will take care of the, for the budget. And your sister will take care of the several main courses and all that. So it's fun, it's tradition, and it makes the community, our relatives
and celebration.
Relatives come to help and prepare the crazy preparation of food na
some relatives,
ang dami-dami.
some relatives not only help, but they bring their own gifts also, like foods,
Yeah, they also bring their own,
snacks,
your
desserts.
specialization nila.
Yes.
Yung magaling sila doon sa adobo,
Or they could bring like
ang humba.
red ribbon cakes.
Yeah, now in the modern
This is
way.
the modern way, the Goldilocks.
Yeah.
But during the time, we have our own panaderia.
There
We
was,
buy the mamon, the old fashioned
yeah, we call it torta in Cebu.
torta. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know that.
torta is not,
Boulevard,
torta
the
is like
bakery.
the our pastry, but torta
Pastry.
in Manila
It's
is
more
like an
like,
omelet.
oh,
Correct ba?
no. Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
But in Cebu, you have your own version.
It's
Like
pastry.
it's pastry.
Yeah.
But,
So I love it. It's the good memories and the taste of food
yeah,
that I
because
remember.
when you're here in the United States or in a different part of the world, you cannot experience this thing. You could only
Imagine it.
reimagine yourself when you look at paintings
That's
like
why you made
this.
this painting.
I did this painting to make myself more happy because if you're under stress working with patients,
Yeah, sick
working with
people.
the bureaucracy within your hospital,
Mm-hmm.
there's no other outlet but to experience all the burnt out that you deal with every day,
Correct.
stress. But
Mm-hmm.
when you are in your own world painting something like this, it's a
Yeah.
different, relaxing way of reimagining things that you experienced when you were little
Mm-hmm.
or when you were happier back then.
Yes, amazing.
Because we never had big money, but we are happier, right?
Yeah. I can always remember the feeling like, oh, you have a nice time with cousins.
Of course.
So it's very
It's
yeah,
like a lot of
priceless.
bonding,
Yeah.
bonding with your family, your
Great, great.
cousins.
So let's look at the last one that you wanna
last
you
one
wanna
here, but
show.
pardon my appearance
No
because
problem.
it's dark, but I have to open the window.
This is another fiesta mood.
Yeah, I want to depict because I came from rural area,
Mm.
but what I'm showing here is the old Manila in Escolta,
Oh, it is.
the Spanish houses
Mm-hmm.
in Escolta. But then since I came from the rural areas,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just my own
This is
fantasy.
the urban celebration.
Yeah, the urban celebration of the farmers who went to Manila
Okay.
to present to the Manileñans who are city people
Uh-huh.
that we in the province also enjoy. We have our own opera, our own Broadway,
Mm-hmm.
by our own tinikling,
Mm-hmm.
and we have a lot of harvest. So I want to share this to you because I'm a guy who came from the province,
Uh-huh.
like a country
So
guy.
in reality, they also actually do this.
No, this is
Uh-huh.
my own imagination.
Okay. Okay.
But God knows so. I was not there, but I could imagine they could do that anytime. Maybe
Anywhere.
the mayor of this place in Manila, let's say in Intramuros,
Uh-huh.
they could import something for entertainment only.
I see.
Some people
It,
went to the United States
mm-hmm.
before just for the exposition because they think these are exotic
Mm-hmm.
cultural presentation. If you notice in the background on the right,
Mm.
people are playing those windpipes made
Yeah, and
out of
also
bamboo, and these are like
guitars.
um innovation from the provinces, I think,
Mm-hmm.
our indigenous way
Yeah.
to provide music.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well,
then people some have banduria and violin, guitar,
mm-hmm.
and we have the bajo
Mm-hmm.
and the regular guitar.
This one is very interesting. This is
Oh, that's
that's from
another
bamboo,
way.
right?
Yeah, it's made out of bamboo. Another way, like instead of playing the drums,
Mm-hmm.
they're like doing for the beat.
Yeah.
Usually they have like the 3/4 waltz beat, I guess,
Uh-huh.
to have that kind of rhythm, and that's plus the
Amazing.
guitar, almost like an orchestra,
Mm-hmm.
so that the tinikling dancers
Mm-hmm.
will dance to the beat of the musicians.
Right.
Even if
Actually,
you don't hear it
mm-hmm.
in your imagination, you could hear music.
This is actually folk art and also the colonial art of Spain being
Yeah,
blended
yeah,
into our culture.
because I experienced this, I saw this in actual. We still have some few remaining ancestral house there
Mm-hmm.
that was created during the Spanish times.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was young, I see the rondallas. I see in the public school they were dancing the tinikling or the
Mm-hmm.
singkil.
Mm-hmm.
But it really imprinted in my mind that when I was watching this, um, these are the kind of things that really gives me pleasure and
Mhm.
happiness.
Are you going to sell these things?
If they like, a lot of people are saying they
Uh-huh.
want to buy this, but whenever they like it, they could always contact me in
I
Facebook,
see.
Luis Caraos. But I'm sure it will be nice to know that they're able to appreciate my art.
Mhm.
Um, I did this for a long time. I usually paint long hours. I don't mind if I paint a lot of people.
Mhm.
This give me this challenge,
Well,
as
it's
if
your
like I was working
self-expression.
as a nurse, but these are my expression coming from my own inner self,
Uh-huh.
representing who I am as an artist.
Mhm. Okay. So thank you so much, sir. And is there anything you want to say to aspiring artists?
Oh
To
yeah.
yeah. How about
To
some words
those
of inspiration?
who want to be an artist like me,
Mm.
being an artist is a way of life. It's not like a fad that you wanna draw and forget about it for many years and not ever come back. When I knew within myself when I was even young that it's natural in me to do drawings. You don't have to study in the university, although it will help you a lot to
Mhm.
learn about theories. But those rules are meant to be broken as an artist, really.
Uh-huh.
But teacher of yourself to be an art is you yourself, because by
Mhm.
constantly painting, you realize your mistakes and then you evolve to the artist kind of artist or the genre you want to be, where all your messages are being expressed through your canvas.
I
And
see.
this is about who you are. It's not because you copied it from a famous, I would not say, but there's a lot
Mhm.
of famous who are commercially successful.
Mhm.
But you don't have to be like that. You have to be an artist in your own way. Success is not measured in terms of financial return, but it's the process, the happiness that you gain from being able to relay your message to the world. And that's the kind of success I'm looking forward. So you become an artist not because of money. You become an artist because you want to be who you are, and not I mean, you use them as your idol. You look up to them in the start,
Mhm.
but you have your own voice to tell the world.
Great.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your time, Luis, and all the best.
You
Looking
all
forward to the upcoming exhibit.
exhibits. I have more in line.
Mhm.
This year, we don't have the venue of in October, but in May, hopefully I'll be able to join an art gallery in Southampton or East Hampton. I was invited,
Mhm.
but it's on the way. And then I'm also looking forward if I will be a lucky recipient. There's only three artists looking for in March or April that we're going to exhibit in Terminal 8 at JFK. I hope
Awesome.
I win, so pray for me.
Oh my
But
gosh.
then
Looking
in
forward.
March,
Pray,
I
pray,
have,
pray, pray.
please, I need
Uh-huh.
that strongly. The announcement of the winners who will participate in Terminal 8 of JFK.
Mhm.
It's a glamorous place to exhibit your work. It's going to be like in the middle of February, which
Oh,
is
it's
this
oh
month. Yeah,
yes.
I'm really
Keep us
excited.
posted.
I will.
Uh,
I will post, like I'll be
yeah.
happy
Oh
to
my
post
gosh.
if ever I'll be. If you don't see me, that means I'm not. But if you see me write this long writing about
Uh-huh.
that's
So
gonna be.
what's your exhibition there?
It's mostly
What is it part of the ones we toured in your house?
no, it's mostly about like it's an invitation to the artists. Like if there are in Terminal 8, people are coming from different part of the world or different parts of the country.
Mm-hmm.
So when you land or you have your overlay in Terminal 8, there's a big gallery there with only three artists, and then they have big canvases. They're gonna reproduce your original, so
Uh-huh.
they could be have like big tarpaulin about your paintings,
Mm-hmm.
focusing only on three artists,
Mm-hmm.
and the size is 80 feet.
Oh, it's huge.
I mean, 145 feet by 8 feet.
Oh,
It's
wow.
huge.
Colossal.
So I was able to submit 10 paintings, and hopefully I will be lucky to be chosen as one of the
Oh
winners.
my
I'll
God.
let you know.
Yes, exciting. All the best.
Yes, and also
We will do a part two.
I have the Bayside Historical Society where I joined the contest, and
Mm-hmm.
hopefully, like in the past, I was able to gain some prizes
Mm.
as a winner. But if I don't win, it's okay because I want to give other artists a chance also.
Of course.
Because but for me to join this contest is not because just to win. I want to meet new artists as well.
Mm.
It's a form of gravitating to my own human being, fellow human being. I don't want to be isolated in my studio by myself.
Correct.
I want to be socialized.
Uh-huh.
That's my purpose, really. And then in the other exhibit in March 3, this is March 3 for the Bayside Historic, and then
Mm-hmm.
the Southern Queens Park Association. It's on the same day, different time.
Oh,
I'll be exhibiting four paintings there also.
so double booking kayo.
Double booking. I didn't realize that until they told me that this is going to be the. What can I do? I already paid my dues.
Yeah, right, right. So all the best po.
So I hope you all could go to and you could follow my journey as an
Yes.
artist because
Uh-huh.
this is a happy path towards retirement.
My God, yes. Oh,
Mabuhay tayong mga Pilipino.
nakaka-jealous. So, ladies and gentlemen, that has been a wonderful tour in the house of great artist, Mr. Luis Caraos here in Queens. Salamat po, sir, sa iyong
Maraming
time.
salamat po sa inyo
Napaka,
lahat.
ano naman, galing ng painting. Nakaka-refresh talaga ng spirit looking at works of art. And also, I had a treat, ladies and gentlemen. Kumain po ako ng pandesal na ginawa ng artist. He's not only an artist, he also bakes. Para bang baker, quiet lang.
Culinary arts.
Uh-huh, thank you po. So, we'll be back after some few reminders, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. Thank you po. Thank you, Mary dear.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's my interview, very extensive. I was soaking in the house of an artist last week, ladies and gentlemen. So I was, this is one of my favorite topics in journalism when I just really delve into the minds of artists and how they work, how they visualize, and then put all this vision into their brushes and colors and oil. So si Mr. Luis Caraos uses oil kasi ano yun, long lasting. It's there forever daw ang oil painting. It doesn't fade. So it's forever. It's a legacy work of art. So I hope you enjoyed that. I truly enjoyed the pandesal. Thank you so much. May pabaon pa ako. Thank you po. And so hope you enjoyed. Let me just reiterate the schedules of Mr. Luis Caraos, where we are so excited to find out kung mananalo ba siya. Will he be exhibiting in at the JFK? So on March 3, double events. The Southern Queens Park Association will have an opening reception of art exhibit from 1 to 6 p.m. And also the Bayside Historical Society at the Bayside Terrace Mall in Queens will open also from 1 to 3 p.m. It will feature the works of art of Luis Caraos. And in May, the East Hamptons Art Exhibit opens and the venue will be announced. And last but not least, the very exciting gig, if he gets it, will be at the Terminal 8 of JFK, where hopefully Mr. Luis Caraos will win the bid in becoming one of the featured artists. Okay, so good luck, Luis, and thank you for the wonderful time. And I hope you enjoyed our show today, ladies and gentlemen, as much as I enjoyed it. So thank you and take care of yourself and take care of each other. Bye for now.